So I'm moving on to the front. The same value we use for the neck here, we're going to use it for that part as well. Now, if you're making a dress, there's an alteration that I would do here, and I'll show you how to do the alteration to make the back neck bigger than the front. But we're not going to work with that today. We're working with the lower part of the body. So the same measurement, 7.6 and 7.6. So you join this with a curve like this to mimic the shape of your neck. Now here you are going to measure 16.5, which is a standard for all sizes. And based on your size, you either come down by 4 or 4.5. For medium to plus size, you come down by 4. For small sizes, come down by 4.5. This is a medium size, so I'm going to come down by 4. And you roll, so this is going to be your NP. So I'm going to come here and measure. So if you have a shoulder dart, you'll measure the line and subtract the value of your shoulder dart. But for me, I don't have a shoulder dart, so I'm going to come here. So this is giving me 12.5, and I'm going to mark 12.5 here. Now we need to add a dart for the bust. Now the reason we add a dart for the bust is to get a proper cup shape for the bust area. So you are going to divide your bust divided by 12. So I have 7.9, which is 8. So I'm just going to use 8 centimeters. So from this mark, I'm going to add 8 centimeters. And this will be my SP. So I first measured my shoulder, then my SP. Okay, then the dart. Alright, so the next thing I'm going to do now is along this area, I am going to measure. So you're going to measure 2 centimeters down from this armhole line. You're going to find half of your bust span. So I didn't take the measurement here, but it's something that you can quickly take. But if you don't have that measurement, divide your chest with 4. Give me 8.5, and that is what I'm going to mark here. So remember I said 2 centimeters down from the armhole line. So I'm going to draw I'm going to place my ruler and make sure I'm getting a straight line, and I'm going to mark where that point stops on the neck. Come in by 2 centimeters and mark. So this will be the first line of your dart. So I'm going to draw this here. And then I'm going to measure the dart value that we added. So the one we calculated, 8 centimeters. So this is your dart. The next thing for me to do is I'm going to fold this dart so I can get the actual line of the shoulder. So you're going to take one end like this and fold this way. So I'm going to draw, connect NP to SP, and there you have it. So I'm going to draw this line to meet there's going to be a crease in the middle. So draw your line to meet that crease, and then this here. Okay. So now I want to measure my chest line. You're going to start from this point here, and you're going to measure your chest level. So mine is here. That's shoulder to chest. If you don't have that measurement, you can just measure 4 centimeters upwards from your pattern. So this is my chest. Now you're going to mark half of your chest width, which is 34 in this case. Mark 34. That's half of that. That's for 17. Then you're going to measure what you have in this place here. So from here to here, I have 2.5, and I'm going to mark it here. Okay. So now I need to measure how I'm going to draw my curve. Come to the back. Measure from the UP to the center back. I have 23.5. Now your bust, the calculation we did for the bust, which is half bust plus 5 centimeters. gave us 52.75. That's 52.8. So 52.8 minus 23.5 will give us 29.3. Give us 29.3. So I'm going to come here and mark 29.3. Now, because of this measurement here, if you're working with a small size, you need to add this measurement back. If it's a plus size, no need. But if you're working with a small size, the measurement that is here in this dot, you need to add it back. So if to add it back from there, I'm going to add 1 centimeter, and I'm going to draw this line as opposed to this line. So you can either do that first line or this one. I prefer using this one and then adjusting it later on. So now that I have this, it's time to draw my curve. So I'm going to place my curve like this from this point to this point. Now what you need to make sure is that you are getting a very, very smooth curve. So I'm going to use a pencil for this first before I draw the final one. And I would connect from here to here. And then I'm going to place my curve in a way to touch this area. You're going to need to turn your curve a couple of times before you can get this shape. So I don't like this shape that I'm getting here. I'm going to redraw this. So this is what's here. Alright, so now I'm okay, satisfied with this shape. So that's why I said you might need to draw that a couple of times to get a good shape. Now before I go on, I need to make sure that I have the armhole I need here. So I'm going to measure it. So for the back I have 21. For the front, I'm having 23.5. So this is way bigger than it should be. So I need to raise this up a little bit. Now because we're working with the corset, I'm not adding a sleeve to it. You can leave it like this. But in the case where you need to add a sleeve, you need to make this your exact armhole measurement. Exact armhole measurement. And even if it's going to be bigger, just 1 centimeter. So to do that, you would raise your UP up like this, and you would redraw that curve, or you would lower it. If the armhole is too tight, you will lower this and then you redraw your curve. So this is how to draft your basic pattern. So we have everything we need. We have the upper part already done. This is going to contour the bust area. This is if in case you need a yoke. That's why we are drafting this upper part area. So this is going to be your waist, and this is going to be the hip line. So now that we have drafted this, we're going to go ahead to make an underbust corset.